What is up, you guys? I am back, and this time I am serious about doing my uploads. It took me some time to get used to my baby schedule as far as his sleeping and his just wanting to chill. Turn his TV down. With him just wanting to chill and stuff like that. Let me see. Okay, this is a better view of the sun a little bit. It's kind of cloudy here. So today's more of a chill day, as I would say. I'm trying to get the light right without having to turn on any light. But I don't know. But you guys, I'm here with my labor and delivery story. So you guys, as you know, or as some of you may not know, I had my baby boy. Um, the 18th of September, I had a C-section, which was my third C-section. And, I was kind of nervous, just because it was like, this was like planned. And the other ones wasn't just really planned. So this one was more planned, but I was like, I still shouldn't be, nervous or whatever. I'm trying to get my light right. As you guys know, I still have my phone. So until I can get a camera, y'all just have to work with me. But okay, I guess. I be glad I'm gonna get my hair washed this weekend. Today's Monday, so this weekend I'm getting it washed. My baby will be a month tomorrow. I'm getting this washed and done, hopefully. But yes, so this was a planned one. So the night before, I just really couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning, don't know why. Well, C-section is a very serious surgery, and it has taken a couple of people's lives. So I was just real nervous, and reading stuff about people who recently had babies and didn't make it. So yeah, I was a bit much stressed out. So I had to. They scheduled him to be taken at 9:30. So we had to be at the hospital by 7:30. So we made it a little early. So I sit up there and I'm checking myself in or whatever. And so then when I get to the room to where they start, getting me ready and stuff, I started getting nervous. I started sweating. I don't know why. I just was sweating and, shaking and stuff. And they was asking me questions. And I'm just like smiling like everything is okay. And deep down, I'm really like, I'm nervous. So I talked to the anesthesia or whatever. And people who don't know, when you have a C-section, unless anything changed, you be woke. You don't feel nothing, but you be woke. Well, at least I didn't feel nothing this time, but that's for another story. So I talked to him. I talked to the doctor who was gonna take him or whatever. She was like, "Well, we're running a little bit behind, so we might not get to you until 10 or a little after." So I said, "Okay, that's fine." So you guys, it's freezing in their room that I was in. I'm sweating. I'm sweating boots. And my husband's like, I need some cover. It's cold. And I'm like, really? Because I'm burning up. And so, actually they came got me. It was, because I looked at the clock. They came got me. It was 9:45. So it was like a couple of minutes after the scheduled time, but before the time that she said that they probably was going to be ready for me. Oh, okay, this lighting is much better. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready, I'm cool, whatever. So when I get and sit on the table, they put you on this little table and they get you prepped ready for them to stick the needle in your back. So they had me plugged up to where my heart rate and all that. So he was like, ma'am, you must be nervous. And at first I wasn't really nervous because it was more of I was burning up. But I guess burning up from being nervous because the room was freezing at first. And I went to the other room. So I was like, nah, I'm okay. Why? He's like, because your heart rate is just out of the roof. He's like, I'm need for you to calm down so we can get started. So in my head, I'm like, okay, calm down, calm down. So I was trying to calm down, but it took me a minute. Like, I don't know why, but it did. It took me a minute. So after my heart rate had, went back to, normal, whatever, he started to stick the needle in my back. So they was like, well, you're gonna feel pressure, blase, blase. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Been did this before. So when he stuck me in my back, I'm like, that's not no pressure. I feel pain. So they was like, well, tell me where you feel it at. Do you feel it on the left? Do you feel it on the right? Is it up? Is it down? And I'm like, okay, I told him where I felt it at. So he tried to move it over a little bit to see if that made it any better. I'm like, no, I still feel that. So, when you getting that, it be a person, a nurse in front of you holding you. So she had the pillow in between me and her. I guess, just in case if I squeeze, I won't squeeze it too hard. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking out the window because people slowing down, or whatever. So, I'm like, I feel it. So then the nurse gonna tell me, when you feel that pinch or whatever, throw it back at him. And in my head, I'm looking like, throw it back at him. I'm like, cause I know, when you get in the epidural or anything, it's always dangerous because you could become paralyzed. So I'm like, you telling me to throw it back at him, and I'm like, is that safe? And so it took them about, I'll say, my auntie's here. It took them about 20 minutes to get the stuff to where it'd be right. So I'm sitting there in my head, I'm like, okay, this is a bad sign. So, they had interns in the room. This is my first time having to deal with, something like that in an operation room. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She was like, well, this is since what, because the place that I was going to is a school of where they do the interns, on hand stuff. So I'm like, okay, fine. Is anyone gonna touch you? Like, nah, they just gonna watch. So I said, okay. So it was 2 dudes and 3 girls, interns. So I heard the one dude, I don't know if they knew that I could hear them or whatever, but here's all their conversations. So this one dude was like, oh, well, this is my 3rd time in the labor living room. This is my first C-section, being able to watch it. And he was like, I didn't do too good with, the vaginal delivery. So I'm like, okay, so, when you have a C-section, they finna cut me open. So how you really gonna do? So, okay, whatever. So when I finally get done, they lay me down. And, they put the catheter in, this, and the third. So when I started to feel my legs going on, I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be better. So they have to pinch you, make sure you're not feeling anything. That's how they know if you really numb or not. So they was like, okay, well, you're numb, so we're finna start the procedure. So I said, okay, whatever. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for my husband to come in the room. So when they started cutting me, then they was like, okay, well, you can send the husband in. So I'm looking over him, and I'm like, okay, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fine, whatever. So when I went to my last doctor appointment, they told me that, I told her that the last time I had a C-section, it felt like I couldn't breathe. So she told me that that's part of the epidural stuff. It kind of makes something go numb. So it kind of makes it hard for you to breathe. So I like, okay. So she was like, well, just keep that in your head. So I asked some of her, well, just, help me if I tell you, I'm freaking out, just try to help me calm down. So they started cutting or whatever. So I'm hearing them talking. Okay. So then I heard this one girl say, I need to step out. So, she was like, I just can't. I need a Sprite or something. So they told her, okay, well, step out. So it's another, like, the operating room that I was in, it's like a, I don't know if it was like a hall or something, but that's what she went to, like, it's right outside the room. So she was right there drinking her pop or whatever. So somebody else came to replace her. So this other guy was like, well, I'm feeling kind of dizzy. So one of the nurses gonna say, don't lean, or if you feel like you're gonna pass out, don't fall forward on her, fall backwards. Okay, so I'm like, hold on, my baby, wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. He woke up, so he did a little quick nap. There you go. Say hey, Kyron. So yeah, I'm using some of this natural light from this window. So I'm like, okay, so y'all sitting up here having a whole conversation, talking about, how you feeling and stuff, and you passing out and stuff. And I'm like, so y'all not thinking that I can hear y'all. So as the other girl comes and takes the other girl's spot, the one of the interns like, well, this is my last, time me having to, I guess, who's my last intern day or something. So she was like, yeah, I didn't really pay attention. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So as they start cutting and stuff, and I started to where I couldn't breathe. So I started panicking a little bit. So I'm looking over there at my husband, and I'm like, I feel like I'm finna die. And he was like, no, just remember, you're supposed to breathe, you're supposed to breathe. So then I'm like, no, because I feel like they're pushing on my chest. So he calls talks to the anesthesia, and so he looks over the curtain, and he's like, oh, you're feeling like they're pushing on your chest, because they are. And I'm like, this is the first time, so why are they pushing on my chest? He didn't have the answer to it. So I'm like, okay, this is the first time of anything like that he got on fitting, child. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is why I feel like I'm finna die. So they're like, he's like, but it's okay, just keep calm, keep breathing. So then I started freaking out. So I'm like, I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna pass out, I'm just gonna pass out. So I just started like panicking, like I'm like, okay, I'm finna die. I look at my baby, I'm looking at my baby. I look at my husband, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I just really don't. I feel like I'm finna just go away or something. And so he was like, just calm down. He started rubbing my head, and I'm like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, I'm just ready for this to be over with. So then, by the time I'm saying that, I hear my doctor say, oh, he has a lot of hair. And I'm like, okay, so this means we bad over. So as she's saying that, I start seeing the little, I don't know, it's like a little flush thing of what they was taking my blood out from. Somehow they moved it, because at first I skipped the part. When they was, I guess, cutting them and stuff, whatever, the curtain that's over me to cover me from seeing what they're doing, they kept pushing it in my face. So that made my panic more worse, because I'm like, y'all keep pushing this curtain on me. I'm already saying I can barely breathe, so this making me panic even more. So one time I try to, push the curtain with my chest. So I'm like, okay. So then my husband, he trying to scoot it up. So when he scooted the little curtain part up on his end, that's when I started seeing the little suction thing. So I'm looking over there, and I'm like, that's a lot of blood. I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, yeah, it's right here in my face. I said, well, I don't think I'm supposed to be seeing that. Or whatever. So they pull him out. And when they pull him out, this is like the first time I have actually heard one of my babies cry. Like right after they pull him out. So he started crying. So when he started crying, I started crying. And my husband's like, this is the first time of you actually hearing a baby cry. And I'm like, yes. So this is he started wiping my eyes. I'm like, go get him. And so the nurse was like, Dad, you can come over here in a minute. So when they weighed him, he was 7 pounds and 2 ounces and 19 inches. You guys, he's small. He's growing now, but he's small. He's long as crap. Like when we went for his tube, cause like I got out the hospital that Thursday. They wanted me to sit there and the doctor's appointment that Friday. He was already 20 inches. He grew an inch within a day, and I'm like, what? But yeah, but and then when I had my recovery, my husband took a picture of him, and the first time, cause like they was like, like they put some little stuff, I don't know the name of it, some stuff in the eyes, I guess. So he kept his eyes closed. So he was like, my husband was like, so the first person he saw was my husband, because that was the first time of him opening his eyes. And you guys, it's a picture that he took that I'm not that good at. I haven't got that advanced with. I'm sorry, I haven't got that advanced with this YouTube stuff. But when I do, I'm gonna post up the picture to show you guys um how he was like. He was looking dead at my husband, like, you my daddy. It was so sweet. But and then my recovery, I was in the recovery room for about an hour and a half. And so like because when they was pushing me in the recovery room, I could hear my baby crying. So I'm like, what is he crying for? And they was like, my mom was like, he hungry. So I was like, okay. So he said it was hot. So as soon as they put him on, like laid him on my chest, he stopped crying. Like, I want my mama. And that just like made my heart just melt. I started crying again, y'all. Sometimes I can be a big crybaby. So I just started crying. I'm like, he's here. I'm here. Everything went okay. Because actually, this time it took a little longer for them to, the operation took a little longer than the last time. So, when they was stitching me up and stuff, it took a little longer because my daddy was calling and calling, and he was like, why is she not in the room? Is everything okay? And yeah, but it took a little longer because there was a lot of scarring on my bladder from the last time. And my last doctor didn't tell me that. So that's why they had to be more cautious with this time. That's why it seemed like it was forever. Because there was a whole lot of scarring. But he's here. He's handsome. And he's active. Like, you guys, this is just, like, when he sleep, that's when he's still. But when he's awoke, oh my, he's already sitting his head up. And no, you guys, I'm not expecting another baby because I got my tube side this time. But he's so handsome. And he's a sweet baby. And after recovery, I can say my nurses, every nurse that I had the days that I was in, that was pretty nice and that was pretty cool. I was more sore this time, so that's why I couldn't do a lot of recording. And my husband, he was so focused on trying to make sure that I was okay that we didn't do any recording whatsoever. For me being nervous before he came to after, and then we had like a bit of a little, I won't say it was a setback, but it was like a little bit of a concern. So that's what that was. Hey. That's Taylor and that's Junior. But you guys, as you can see, they're starting to interrupt my video, so it's time for me to end this and see what they want. So until next time, see you later.